For Christians all over the world tomorrow, Easter Sunday, and they will be celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ. This morning, Pastor Miles McPherson joins us to talk about the meaning of Easter. He also took a special trip recently. He's going to fill us in on the details. Good morning to you.
How you doing?
Very well. How are you is the question. You got a busy weekend on tap right now.
This is a busy weekend for all churches, so
yeah,
we're ready to go.
Well, Miles, let's start with the meaning of Easter. What do you tell Christians when they approach you about this weekend and what this means to Christians everywhere?
And specifically even non-Christians to understand the penalty of sin is death. When we sin, we get punished, and the punishment is death. Jesus died to pay that penalty for us. But the good thing is that he rose from the dead. And if he didn't rise from the dead, he's not God. And he couldn't have paid for our sins. So his resurrection seals our forgiveness, gives us the opportunity to say to God, I'm sorry, and to receive that forgiveness.
You know, Miles, I recently became a parent. And I think, you know, we saw where Brooke is today, and obviously the Easter egg hunts and the Easter bunny have become a huge part of this weekend. But what's the best way to explain to children what this weekend means, especially, you know, Christian children who are maybe learning in Sunday school? It's kind of hard to wrap their heads around the entire concept of what happened. But what's the best way to explain it to them if you're a parent out there?
Well, I think kids, they understand if they don't obey their parents, they're going to get punished. We used to have to stand in the corner with our face in the corner. Well, Jesus, when he died, he got punished for us. Because when we disobey our parents, we get punished. We disobey God, there's a punishment. Jesus says, I'm going to take that punishment for you, which was his death. And then he rose from the dead, and rising from the dead, he proved, I am God. I can not only forgive you, but I can give you eternal life. And so kids have to understand that life after death is going to come by giving their faith in Jesus, who actually overcame death.
And obeying their parents, too, right?
They got to obey their parents.
Miles, you recently took an incredible trip to the White House, of all places. What an exciting time. We have some pictures of you actually meeting President Obama. What were you doing at the White House?
Well, he had an Easter prayer breakfast, and I was invited to that about 10 days ago. Got an invitation in the mail. Thought it was fake because there was no name on it. It just said, send us your social security number and your birthday.
And you go, wait a minute, these are the scams I hear about all the time.
Exactly. So I had recently met a guy who's the head of his faith-based initiatives, and so I emailed him the invitation, said, is this real? He said, oh yeah, I'm the one who sent it, and so my wife and I went. It was great.
You guys, yeah, we're looking at some of the pictures right now. There you are, actually shaking the president's hand. Anything surprising, anything that you didn't know about President Obama that maybe you learned, some fun facts? What kind of a guy is he?
You know, I think what was surprising, and we were in the White House, so I imagine the security around his body physically wasn't going to be so tight, but it was very casual. You know, the room had about 150 religious leaders in it. And I was surprised. It was surprising how casual he was. He sat there the whole time throughout the whole program, in addition to speaking himself. Went to every table, took a picture with every group, and shook everybody's hand in the room. And I saw one Secret Service. Now I know they were in there, but they were invisible. I think that was probably the big surprise.
Plan,
and he was very casual. He's a very easygoing guy. You know, even though he is the president, you didn't feel like you were meeting such a powerful guy.
Well, that's very nice. Well, as we mentioned, a busy weekend for you at the Rock Church. Kind of tell us if people want to come down to one of your services. What do we have going on this weekend?
Well, the best thing to do is to go to the website at sdrock.com.
And we have that link to our website, just to let you know at home, too.
Fantastic. So we have 2 services tonight in Point Loma and San Marcos, 5 services tomorrow in Point Loma, and 4 tomorrow in San Marcos. All this is on the website. So we'll have services tonight and tomorrow.
And that San Marcos location, just for people who live in the North County, I live in the North County, you guys just recently moved there, right?
Recently moved, and the best way is to go to the website. It'll give you a map and all the directions, because for me to explain it, it'll be right on that sdrock.com, and it'll show you the times and places and the special guests. We have the Katinas. Nick Vujicic, which his guy has no arms and no legs. He's going to be with us throughout the weekend as well.
Great. What's your favorite part about Easter?
The simplicity of the message. You know, everybody knows what we're going to talk about. Jesus rose from the dead. It is the most important, significant religious, spiritual event in the history of the world. No religious leader has ever risen from the dead. So this sets Christ apart from every other religious leader there ever was. They're all dead in the grave. And so he made a promise, I'm going to die and I'm going to rise from the dead in 3 days, and he did. And so that gives us hope beyond death. And so it's great to have everyone come and say, this is what makes or breaks Christianity. If Christ is still dead, we have no forgiveness. The Bible is illegitimate. If someone can find his body, then throw the Bible away and don't go to church. But this is what makes it sets it apart from every other faith.
All right, powerful message. Miles McPherson, pastor at the Rock Church. Thank you so much for
my
coming
pleasure.
on this
Thanks
morning.
for having me.
Because I know he's busy today. So
Yeah.
we thank you so much for the 5-minute interview you gave us.
Thank you.
All right, we've touched